Good morning, students. Welcome to the enrichment class in physics for standard 12th. We were discussing questions on capacitors and we will continue our discussion. So, on the screen, you can see there is a question that you need to find equivalent capacitance between the points A and B in this given network. I have also discussed in the previous class regarding such kinds of questions where you have to find equivalent capacitance. So, it is a mere revision of that. In such questions, always what we do? So we connect these 2 points between which you have to find the equivalent capacitance to an imaginary battery. That is step number 1. Suppose they are connected to an imaginary battery like so. So this is positive terminal and this is negative terminal. This you don't have to draw, just you have to imagine. This positive terminal of the battery sends some charge, say plus Q. So total charge is how much? Q. So negative charge will send how much? Minus Q. Out of charge Q, something will appear here. Let it be Q1. Remaining charge, that is Q minus Q1, will appear on the capacitor C2. Then on their other plates, the charges will be, minus Q1, and here it will be minus of Q minus Q1. Same thing I can do from the other end. At the other end, we have charge minus Q. That charge minus Q will distribute between these two plates. Now in this particular question, we have not assigned some values for C1, C2, C3, C4. So we will be doing it by a general method. First thing that we note here is the case of symmetry. The capacitor C1 is same as this one, and here the capacitor C2 is same as this one, and in between them there is a capacitor C3, whatsoever be its value. Whether I move from this side or whether I come from that side, the arrangement appears to be flipped upside down. From this side in the top we find C1, from this side at the bottom we find C1. So it has some sort of symmetry. That symmetry we shall make use of. So by symmetry, follow the instruction carefully. By symmetry, in capacitor C1, in the left side, since charge Q1 has appeared, therefore out of minus Q, minus Q1 charge will appear on C1. Is it clear, students? So this will be Q1, this will be minus Q1. Out of Q, Q1 appeared here. Out of minus Q, we say minus Q1 appears there. If it is so, what should be the charge on the other plate? It will be simply minus Q minus minus Q1. That is minus Q plus Q1. And therefore its other plate will have charge Q minus Q1. They are opposite, they are same, Q1 minus Q1, and they are also same, Q minus Q1, negative of that, Q minus Q1. You see, negative of this means that much. You can also write minus of Q minus Q1. Now on the plate C3, to find the charge configurations, we shall basically use law of conservation of charge. You see here, this plate, and this plate. These three plates are connected together and they form an isolated system. Before connecting to battery, the total charge on this plate, this one and this one, must be 0. So after connecting also the net charge must be 0. So let the charge on this plate be x. So x plus this is equal to 0. So x will be means x minus q1 plus q minus q1 will be equal to 0. Total charge on these three plates will be 0. So this will give you the value of x as how much? Q1 minus q plus q1, that is 2q1 minus q. So I am writing that 2q1 minus q, and on other plate it will be negative of that, so minus of 2q1 minus q. You can also find that by using similar concept between among these three plates. You see, this one, and this one, these three plates are connected together and they form an isolated system. Therefore, net charge on these three plates combined together must be 0. So if this plate has charge, say y, then y plus q1 and minus this much must be 0. So solving that, we'll get the value of y. So this completes our charge distribution on the plates of the different capacitors. This is our step number 1. Here, of course, the situations have become simpler because we have used the concept of symmetry over these two and over these two. If symmetry does not exist, for example, if this were C4, then this will not be Q1. Then you have to choose one more variable, say Q2, and accordingly you will arrange these charges. Then here there is only one unknown variable which we have chosen, that is Q1. There will have two variables, Q1 and Q2. So the things will become more complicated, but then that is the only general method. Now let this potential difference be V. We have to find equivalent capacitance between A and B. Let that equivalent capacitance be C. Then that C, this Q and this V will be related using this relation C is equal to Q upon V. So we have to basically find what is the ratio Q by V. For that, what we will see this potential difference V between the plates of the capacitor is nothing but VA minus VB. Let me call this point as P and this point as Q. I will not use Q, I will use some other symbol, say M. Now VA minus VB I can write as VA minus VP plus VP minus VB. That means this potential difference plus this potential difference. Now VA minus VP is the potential difference between points A and P between which capacitor C1 is connected. So using this relation, this potential difference is this charge on the capacitor by its capacitance. See, V will be how much? Q upon C. So this potential difference VA minus VP is this charge Q1 by this capacitance, that is C1. Likewise, here Vp minus Vb will be how much? Charge Q minus Q1 upon C2. So this is our equation number 1. So we have got V is equal to this much. Likewise, we will choose another path. This V, which is VA minus VB, so also this can be written as VA minus VB, and I'll choose another path like this, VA minus VP plus VP minus VM and plus VM minus VB. I have chosen this path, this one, this one, this one. So potential difference is given as charge by capacitance. So let's put the values one by one. So this implies V is equal to VA minus VP, we have seen earlier, that is nothing but Q1 upon C1. Next, this potential difference, Vp minus Vm will be this charge 2Q1 minus Q upon that capacitance, that is C3. And then we have this one, Vm minus Vb, that will be Q1 upon that capacitance, that is C1. So we have got two equations, equations 1 and equations 2. Now what we need C is equal to Q by V. We need Q, we need V. What we don't need is Q1 in these two equations. So this much I'll leave for you to do. From these two equations, you have to eliminate Q1. What you can do, you can find the value of Q1 from this equation number 1 and you can substitute that in equation number 2 or vice versa. This Q1 by C1 becomes twice of Q1 by C1. So these two equations basically you have to solve by eliminating Q1. When you eliminate Q1, you will have an equation wherein you will have V, you will have C1, C2, C3 and you will have Q. And then you can easily find C as Q by V. Okay. So I am just providing you the answer. So this is the answer that you will get. I suggest you to solve this yourself and find the answer. Let's do one more interesting question based on finding equivalent capacitance. Here is the next question for you students. Here we can see there is a cubical arrangement and there are 12 capacitors, each of same capacitance C. All the capacitors have same value, that is C. And they are present along the edges of this particular cube. You have to find equivalent capacitance between the diagonally opposite vertices, that is one example is points A and B. Symmetry says between any pair of points joining the diagonal, the equivalent capacitance must be same. So our step will be same. Those 2 points between which you have to find the capacitance will connect an imaginary battery. Suppose it supplies some potential difference, it supplies some charge Q. Now we have to finish the charge distribution. How should we distribute the charge? It is clearly a case of symmetry. So this charge Q has to divide into 3 parts. And all these 3 parts, because of symmetry, we say are identical. Therefore, this charge must distribute equally between these 3 arms. So the charges on these 3 arms will be Q by 3, Q by 3 and Q by 3. And on the other plate of the capacitor, it will be minus Q by 3, minus Q by 3 and minus Q by 3. Likewise, the negative terminal of the battery will send charge minus Q. Out of minus Q, in these 3 plates, charge will be distributed equally. So this will be minus Q by 3, this will be minus Q upon 3 and this will be minus Q upon 3, and the other plates will have opposite charges Q by 3, Q by 3 and Q by 3. Now this charge Q by 3 will result in some distribution of charges over here. What should be their values? Let's see that. For finding charges on the other capacitors, we will again use concept of symmetry. Suppose we wish to find the charge on this plate. Now you see, or this plate, you see this one. You can choose any pair. Concentrate on these 3 plates, which I am enclosing inside a region. This plate and this plate, are they connected together? Yes. Do they form an isolated system? Yes. Why do they form an isolated system? Because they are not connected to any other thing, any other plate or any other battery. You can see there is no connection beyond this region. So these 3 plates, the total charge must be 0, and symmetry says that these 2 plates must have same charge. Suppose the charge over here be x, this charge will be how much? X. This is minus Q by 3. So x plus x minus Q by 3 becomes 0. So this is 2x minus Q by 3 is 0, or 2x is equal to Q by 3, or x is equal to Q by 6. So this charge will be actually Q upon 6. This will be Q upon 6. This will be minus Q upon 6. This will be minus Q upon 6. Same thing has to be done other places also. For example, minus Q by 3 and this plate, total charge has to be 0. So here we'll have Q by 6. This will be Q by 6. This will be minus Q by 6. And this will be minus Q by 6. Likewise, we can complete all the charge distributions. Q by 6. This will be Q by 6. Minus Q upon 6. Minus Q upon 6. So this is our step number 1. And the next step, total charge is how much? Q. Total capacitance is suppose C, and total potential difference between points A and B is how much? V. So we have Q is equal to CV. So we want C, so C is equal to Q upon V. Now to find that ratio, what we do, the potential difference between the plates A and B, between the points A and B is V. So we write V is equal to VA minus VB. And just like previous method, let me name this point as P, this point as Q. VA minus VB can be written as VA minus VP plus VP minus VQ plus VQ minus VB. this potential difference, this potential difference, this potential difference, and we'll segregate these three terms. So let's see what do we get. VA minus VP will be how much? See, V is Q upon C. So what is corresponding charge? Q upon 3. And divided by C. C is C. Okay. Then Vp minus Vq. So this is Q upon 6C. And then Vq minus Vb. That is again Q upon 3C. So we can take Q upon C common. Then we will be left 1 by 3 plus 1 by 6 plus 1 by 3. So LCM will be 6. So 3 2s are 6, 1, 6 times 1 and again 2. So 2 to 4 1 5, we'll get 5 by 6 times this much. So this is V. So V is this much. Therefore, capacitance C is equal to Q upon V. Now you can see Q upon V will become 6C upon 5. So this is the answer to this particular question. The capacitance, equivalent capacitance between diagonally opposite points will be 6 by 5 times the individual capacitance. Is it clear, students? Okay. Let's see next question. There is a parallel plate capacitor. The plates are square in shape and each side of the square is how much? Small a. Separation between the plates is small d. The dielectric constant of the material between the plates is K. If K were constant, you know the capacitance would have been given by the formula A epsilon naught K upon D. But in this question, it is given that this K is not a constant, it varies in this direction. That means it varies along the edge or parallel to the edge. This is the edge of a square plate. The square plate is like this. So this one is the edge. So along the edge, it varies with the distance. Left end we take as x is equal to 0, right end we take as x is equal to a. Then at a distance x from the left end, the value of k is given by this particular relation, k naught plus alpha x. It varies linearly with x. K naught and alpha are constants. So here it is k naught because x is 0. So here it is k naught. And at the other end it increases to k naught plus alpha times x value is a. So the value of k is increasing gradually from k naught to k naught plus alpha a. And how does it increase? It increases according to this relation. If this be the gradation in the value of k, then we have to find the net capacitance. For that, what we will do at a distance x. So this is the point. We'll draw a very fine thin element. And this thickness we'll take it as dx. This element is also like a capacitor. Its capacitance we write as dc. The formula for capacitance is what? A epsilon naught upon d. Now what is the area of this? Area of this is this much. What is this length? This length is dx. Remember, this is not two-dimensional figure. It has to be viewed, imagined in 3 dimensions. This plate, I have told it is a square plate. A square plate will be like this. Okay. You are seeing from the top, front view. So this thickness is dx, and then there is a length. Length of that square plate is how much? A. See, this is A. From here to here, this is A. And then into the board, also A, you imagine. Then there will be a square. So into the board, that part length is A, and this on the board, the length part is dx for this element. So area of the plate will become A times dx. So area of the plate becomes length into breadth. A rectangular strip is taken like this. So this length is A and this thickness is dx. So A dx is the area. Epsilon naught, okay. Then by d, okay. Now this is not vacuum, so we have to put the value of k. And how much is k? K is k naught plus alpha x. So instead of k, I'll put K naught plus alpha times X. So this is the capacitance of that particular element. Now likewise I can choose one more element here, then one more element here, and I can continue doing this from left hand to the right hand. And if you choose any two of them, they are in parallel. You can see the top plates, they are connected together, the bottom plates, they are connected together. So this capacitor and this capacitor, this one and this one, they are connected like this. So what kind of combination is this? This is parallel combination. So all these elements, they are connected in parallel, and therefore net capacitance C will be summation of them. But because I am choosing differential length dx, the number of such elements will become infinity. So instead of summation, we should use integration. Is it clear? So the total capacitance in parallel, is a summation, but summation will be replaced by integration of this factor. That is A, I'll arrange the terms, A epsilon naught D, then K naught plus alpha X, and then we have this dx, and the limits of integration will be from x is equal to 0 to x is equal to this point, that is A. This is the answer to this particular question. After this, there is a bit of mathematics. You have to solve this integral. A epsilon naught by D, you can take it out of the integral. Then integration of K naught plus alpha x. So this will become K naught times x plus alpha times x square by 2. And the limits are from where to where? 0 to A. And here we have A epsilon naught upon T. When you put x is equal to 0, everything vanishes. When you put x is equal to A, x will replace by A, it becomes this much. So this is the answer to this particular question. Now we can take A common, we can simplify a bit, and we will get the final answer to this question. The final answer will be this much. So in this way we have to solve some of the questions. One more question I will discuss based on equivalent capacitance. Let's see that also. Here in this question, you have to find the capacitance of the system, and in this system it is given that the area of each of the plates is A, and a region between the plates is divided into 4 equal parts of space, and in those 4 parts 4 different dielectrics are put whose dielectric constants are given as 1, 2, 3 and 4. So you have to find the total capacitance. In this particular question, I'll assign some value of capacitances, say C1 for the first part, C2, likewise C3, and C4 is the capacitance for the fourth part. It's easy to see that C1 and C3, these two, if I draw them together once again, this is C1, then the bottom part is C3. If I segregate them, C1 and C3, and these two plates, this plate is common, this region is common, so I'll connect them. So what kind of combination is this? This is series combination. So C1 and C3, they are in series. Likewise C2 and C4, they are also in series. Let us first find what are the values of C1, C2, C3 and C4. C1 will be, now what is this area of the plate from this region to this region? The total area was A, this is half of that total area. So this will become A by 2 epsilon naught by, this distance is given as D, and then we'll multiply this with K1. So K1 is how much? 1. So this is the answer. C2 will be how much? A by 2 epsilon naught upon D times K2. K2 is how much? 2. C3 will be A by 2 epsilon naught upon D times K3. K3 is 3. And C4 will be likewise A by 2 times epsilon naught by D times 4. Now C1, C3 are in series. Now I think students, you can do this question yourself. C1, C3 are in series, so their equivalent capacitance will be given as 1 by C dash, suppose, is equal to 1 by C1 plus 1 by C3. So 1 by C1 will become how much? See, this is a by 2 like this is like this. So reciprocals, so 2d upon a epsilon naught we can take common. So what will be left in, you can see 1 by c dash. So 1 by this means 2d by a epsilon naught. So 1 will be remaining here, plus 1 by 3. Is it clear? So 1 plus 1 by 3 is nothing but 4 by 3. Likewise, C2 and C4, they are also in series. So their equivalent capacitance I'll take as 1 by C double dash is reciprocal of this plus reciprocal of this. So 2d upon a epsilon naught, likewise that will be common. And what will be left behind? 1 by 2 plus 1 by 4. This becomes 3 by 4. Now these two, C dash and C double dash. So C dash will become how much? Reciprocal of this. That is A epsilon naught upon 2d times 3 by 4. And C double dash will become A epsilon naught upon 2d times 4 upon 3. If I have not committed any mistake, so then. And these two will be now in parallel. So the final capacitance C will be how much? C dash plus C double dash. So if you add these two, we'll get A epsilon naught upon 2d multiplied by 3 by 4 plus 4 by 3. Now this becomes 4 and 3 LCM will be 12. Then we have a 9 plus 16, that is 25 by 12. So this is 25 by 12. So C becomes how much? 25 upon 12 into A epsilon naught upon 2d. 12 times 2 becomes 24. So this is the answer to this particular question. 25 by 24 times A epsilon naught upon d. Okay. I'll stop here, students, and I would like you to complete the assignments which I am giving today. Please practice them once again, all the questions which I have discussed, and also try to do the questions which I give you in the assignment link. Thank you. Take care. Read well.